if I look at your budget for 2023, including your appropriations and obligations, I do not know where this came from, insofar as your budget for 2023 is concerned. May I know where this came from?
2019,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'll have to do some computation on a year by year.
Hindi dapat kino-compute yan.
That's,
Nandun dapat sa record
recorded.
ninyo eh. If I look at your budget for 2023, including your appropriations and obligations, I do not know where this came from, insofar as your budget for 2023 is concerned. May I know where this came from?
The allocation for HEDF is submitted as part of the NEP, Madam Chair. So we submitted to DBM during the budget call. So the list of the projects to be funded and the amounts, and if it comes out in the NEP, then that is the HEDF allocation we get for the year.
Wala pong makita dito. Saan pong under operations, saan po siya nakalagay?
Nandun po sa automatic appropriations. nasa
Automatic
dulo.
appropriations.
Yeah.
Okay. That's part of your earmark revenues.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, because that fund is really targeted to be used for the development of higher education.
That's part of your budget.
Yeah.
Now, in the year 2019, your balance as of 31 December 2019 is 12.431 billion. Would that be correct? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'll have to do some computation on a year by year.
Hindi dapat kino-compute yan eh.
That's,
Nandun dapat sa record
recorded.
ninyo eh.
Nasa table po kasi lahat every year.
Yes.
nandoon.
Let me continue, Madam
Yeah.
Chair.
Yes, please.
Your revenues in 2019 was 2.2 billion and your expenditure was 836,174 million. Your ending balance as of 31 December 2020 is 11.7 billion. And your revenue in 2020 amounted to 423,591 million. But your expenditure in 2020 was 1.087 billion, more than your revenues. Now, as of 31 December 2021, your ending balance insofar as your automatic appropriation is concerned is 10.6 billion. Again, your revenues in 2021 amounted to 169,864,000, but your expenditure was 1.29 billion. Your balance as of 31 December 2022 is 10.96 billion. Your revenues was 900,631,000, and again, your expenditure amounted to 1.026655 billion. Now, I think the amount of, because under automatic appropriations, you have under Commission on Higher Education, the Higher Education Development Fund pursuant to Republic Act 7722, right? Tama po yun? Yes. Now, I have a certification here on how you disposed or liquidated the amount of 799,098,000, which was allocated to your department, to your office for current year 2023 as HEDF. Okay. Now, may I ask, Mr. Chairman, you have a fund here development of standards of excellence for higher education in the amount of 95,787,000. Tama po.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And this office is in charge, or do you have an office to perform this function?
Yes, it's the Office of Program Standards and Development.
Yes. OPSD.
Yeah.
Now, when you liquidated the amount of 799,098,000, meron pong OPSD expenditure na nakalagay. Would you remember this?
Kung 2023 po ito,
Itong
yeah.
799 plus million, you have liquidated this. Tama po.
This is for 2023. Hindi
Yes.
pa ho naubos yan. Hindi
Yes.
pa. Yeah.
Hindi pa naubos.
Yeah.
If I look at your certification that you issued insofar as your proposed expenditure program is concerned, kasi may sweldo na po sila rito yung Office of Programs and Standard Development. Di po ba? At 95,787,000. Pero dito sa inyong certification, nagbibigay uli kayo ng 70,870,000 para sa OPSD for policies, standards, and guidelines development. Wala po ba kayong policies, standards, and guidelines? Ang dami nang nasa likuran po ninyo, Mr. Chairman.
Alam ko po ito.
Kanina, wala pa nga yan eh. Oo, napansin ko. Di ba policies,
Yes.
standards, and guidelines development?
Yeah.
This is the job of your Office of Programs and Standard Development, which was allocated an amount of 95 million plus.
Yes.
Ngayon, binibigyan nyo uli ng 70 million plus for your HADF. Ano
Yes.
po ba ang i-develop pa nito?
Yung, yung 70 million po na naka-allocate dyan ay gagamitin for several purposes. Yung isa ay yung pag-monitor ng compliance doon sa Certificate of Program Compliance. Ini-evaluate ho yung mga degree programs ng mga eskwelahan, kung qualified ang teacher, tama ang curriculum, kung tama ang facilities, and meron hong cost yan in terms of the travel of the evaluators, the salaries of the contractual personnel, because ang ini-evaluate po ay lahat ng existing degree programs ng lahat ng state universities and colleges. Lahat po ng private schools, bawat degree program na bubuksan nila, hindi po sila pwedeng magbukas hanggang hindi in-evaluate ng CHED at hindi pumunta sa Commission and Bank to give them an authority to open the program. So lahat po nung 1,700 private schools, bawat degree program po na bubuksan yan, ay kailangan padalan ng tao ng regional office at ng central office para tignan ho kung assured yung kanilang program ng quality. Medyo magastos ho yan in terms of pagpunta sa eskwelahan kasi depende po sa degree program, iba-iba ang nag-i-evaluate na technical people. Doon po pumupunta yung pera, doon sa evaluation. Ang bulk ho nito ay pag-evaluate ng applications for new degree programs at applications for COPC.
Yep. Madam Chair, meron ding kwan dito activity na monitoring and ensuring compliance of HEIs and HAE programs to existing laws, rules, and regulations in the amount of 9 million.
Yeah, sa kwan ho yan, legal and legislative services yan.
Yes.
Iba naman po ang ini-evaluate nila. Halimbawa po, may mga reklamo sa mga eskwelahan. Papadala kami ng show cause order. Pupunta kami sa mga regions, yan po pumupunta yung pondong yan.
Yun pong enhancing capabilities for monitoring and enforcement. Di ba pare-parehas lang ito?
Iba po yan. Kung gusto niyo po, pwede ko ba pong pasagutin yung head ng LLS para mabigay yung mas detalyadong breakdown. I would know it in general terms as approved by the Commission and Bank. Pwede po ba?
Yes.
Can I ask?
The chair.
Can I ask Attorney Farolan, our head of Legal and Legislative Service, to tell us what enhancing capabilities for monitoring and enforcement means?
Attorney Farolan, you're recognized.
Madam
Thank you, Madam
Chair,
Chair.
before he answers my question, may I know kung ikaw ang nagrekomenda ng amount na ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ikaw ang nagrekomenda ng 9 million at saka 7 million.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
The Epicenter program, this is the enhancement education policy implementers capacity enhancement training program. Nakapaloob po dyan ano yung mga pagsasanay para po mas mapagaling o madagdagan po yung kakayanan ng ating mga policy implementers, lalo sa mga CHED. Ano yung mga specific programs dito? For example, we've been running, dahil po sa CHED, especially our regional offices, marami pong mga they have to deal with a lot of issues, complaints, pati yung due process issues, administrative processes. Nagkaroon po tayo ng agreement, MOA with UP, with the UP College of Law, para po dun sa paralegal training
Madam Chair.
program.
Para lang, mabilis, dami pang nagatay eh. Yung bang, which is more broad, yung monitoring and ensuring compliance of HEIs and HE programs to existing laws, rules, and regulations, at saka yung enhancing capabilities for monitoring and enforcement, which is broader in scope insofar as CHED is concerned. Ikaw, attorney, ano sa tingin po ninyo?
Of course, the main function is the
Alin
monitoring.
po ang mas
but the-
broader in scope? Please answer my question, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, it's the monitoring, of course, the enforcement of CHED regulations.
Wala naman akong binabangging enforcement of CHED regulations eh.
Hindi, yung
Ang
monitoring
sinasabi
of
ko,
compliance, Mr. Chair.
mas broader yung monitoring and ensuring compliance. Now, yung enhancing capabilities for monitoring and enforcement, is it not subsumed by monitoring and ensuring compliance of HEIs and HE programs?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair, kasi yung Epicenter program, ito yung enhancement of training. This is more on capacity building para sa skills nila, para magawa nila ng mas maayos yung trabaho nila. Sabi ko nga, dito yung paralegal training, data privacy training, at ibang mga pagsasanay po tungkol sa mga workshops like legal writing na kailangan din po para mas maayos nilang magawa yung mandate ng CHED na monitoring and ensuring compliance of HEIs, Mr. Chair.
Madam Chair, bago lang po ba ang mga tauhan na ito doon sa opisina ninyo o para kailangan pa nilang mag-training? Hindi ba? Ang alam po sa CHED kasi puro doctoral degree holders sa mga nandyan.
Madam Chair, may I respond? Wala po kasi kami.
Teka, Madam Chair,
Please
akala
wait
ko
to be
ba sasagot
recognized.
yung
Chairman.
attorney, yun ang sinabi. Bakit? Kayo po ang inassign na sumagot. Di sumagot po kayo.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, please proceed.
Unfortunate po, sa CHED po kasi, mas marami actually yung mga contract of service personnel namin than item positions. Ibig sabihin po, contractual yung mga tao at mabilis po yung turnover rate. Doon sa ating mga regional offices din po, even with our office, even yung plantilla po dahil medyo mababa yung items available, mabilis po yung turnover, so nagpapalit yung mga tao. Tapos nagkaroon kami ng needs assessment, lumalabas po na may kakulangan sa pagtitraining doon sa mga aspeto na nakita namin na dapat palakasin pa, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Sige, attorney, I will let you off the hook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Madam Chair, meron ding item dito na learning and development intervention for CHED officials and staff in the amount of 15 million. Learning and development. Could you explain this to me, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, this is used for the training of CHED staff on various aspects. Kasama po dyan ang training nila sa civil service, pagka yun ho mga gustong makakuha ng seso, training po nila sa iba't iba pang programa ng pamahalaan.
Akala ko, forgive my ignorance. Ang buong akala ko kasi yung CHED, napakaraming PhD degree holder pero kailangan pa rin pala nila yung kwan. Now, let's go to research, development, and extension program. What is in the SADF na kailangan pa nating i-research, develop ng mga programa? Why? Because you are allocating 138 million insofar as that item is concerned.
Madam Chair, most of these are grants given to universities for improving their capability. Meron ho kasing mga university na hindi makapag-comply sa standards, kulang ng equipment, kulang ng library. Yun mga universities ho na gustong magbigay ng extension program. Meron po kami sa Sulu State College na gusto nila magpatayo ng nursery para mabigyan ng fruit trees yung mga nasa patikol na gustong magbalik loob na mga rebelde. Doon po namin binibigay yung mga grants na yan doon sa mga universities. Nag-a-apply po sila, iba-iba yung kanilang ina-applyan. So diyan po pumupunta yung pondong yan.
And yun pong yung Building Internationalization Competitiveness Program for Philippine Higher Education. Ito, meron pala kayong Internal Affairs Service Department which would implement this. May I know who is the head of this?
Wala po ngayon kasi kagagaling nila ng China. Medyo hindi po magandang pakiramdam. But this money is used for to assist the universities internationalize. Nung pumasok po ako ng CHED, 15 Philippine universities lang ang internationally ranked. 75 na po ngayon. Tinutulungan namin ang mga universities na maintindihan anong internationalization, anong international benchmarking. Sinasama namin sila sa mga benchmarking at saka mga activities abroad. Pati ho yung mga joint programs na ginagawa nila, pinopondohan namin hanggang magawa yung mga programa. Doon po pumupunta yung perang ito.
Well, Madam Chair, I do not know if this will, how this will pass doon po sa COA audit for 2023. Ito. And, there's also an amount in the amount of 15 million for fund administration. Hindi ko alam kung bakit kailangan pang gastos tayo na 15 million para i-administer tong fund na ito. Samantalang, kung meron namang pondo na naka-allocate sa GAA, kaya nyo naman na i-implement without any fund administration. I do not know why, kung bakit sa fund na ito automatically appropriated to your office, kailangan pang magkaroon ng fee for each administration.
Madam Chair, yung 15 million ay ginagamit para sa pag-monitor ng mga programs at grants na binibigay namin sa iba't ibang pamantasan all over the country. Yan po ay kasama sa expenses sa pag-travel nila, pag-monitor ng mga programa kung tama ang pag-implement. Yun po yung pondo niya. Hindi po yan purely administrative cost. Yan po ay pang-monitor lamang ng pagbigay namin ng pondo ng HEDF.
May I ask for my last question, Madam Chair? Would it be true that pursuant to COA findings, you have delayed the release of TES funds totaling to 3.4 billion in Regional Office 12?
Yan yung end of the year. Yeah. Yan po yung COA observation as of December.
Yes.
Uh,
I said it's a
yeah.
part of a COA report. I'm just asking
Yes.
if it's true
Binigyan na po kami ng COA ng unqualified opinion ng July dahil naayos na ho namin
Okay.
lahat ng mga problematic areas. Meron ho kaming highest audit rating July 2023.
Including the unliquidated tertiary education subsidy in the amount of 16.86 billion.
Yes. Naayos na po namin yan kaya binigyan na kami nung July ng kwan. Kasi December po yan. Yan po ay usually mga payables ng second semester ng 2023 kasi December po yung cut-off. So ibabayarin namin ng second semester. Clinic claim po yan at saka dinidisburse ng first quarter of the year. So hindi po talaga yan maibibigay ng mas maaga.
This tertiary education subsidy was designed to assist economically disadvantaged students by giving them support. There was a delay that occurred in the last few years. Tama. Now, may I know what has been done in the past year to remedy this? Given this backlog, what has JED done to disperse such funds to the rightful students?
Meron hong reasons kung bakit nadidelay. Ang pinakamabigat hong dahilan, hindi makapag-liquidate yung mga schools na pinagdaanan ng pondo. Kasi ang rule ho, hanggang may unliquidated ka, hindi mo makukuha yung susunod na tranche ng test. So ang unang ginawa namin, ang liquidation nila instead of by semester, ginawa namin by year para meron silang dagdag na panahon mag-liquidate. Ang pangalawa, tinutulungan na natin sila mag-liquidate. Nagpapadala tayo ng team doon para turuan sila paano mag-liquidate. Ang problema ho kasi doon sa madaming university, kung hindi nila maibigay yung test, they are torn between returning the money at kawawa naman yung beneficiary or hanapin at hintayin yung beneficiary na baka naman matagal. So yun ho mga pamantasan ay marami sa kanila ay talagang nahihirapan. Kasi ang mas madali po ay isoli na lang nila para makaliquidate sila, pero naawa din po sila sa mga estudyante na hindi pa nakukuha yung pondo. So administrative po yung problema dito sa delay sa release.
Thank you, Chairman Popoy. Madam Chair, marami rin pong salamat sa opportunity.